And this is a Marvel check-in, real fast. How you feeling about Marvel really fast? Are you excited for Fantastic Four?
I'm very excited for
I
Fantastic.
am getting more excited. Did you watch the newest trailer yet?
I did.
So, this is why I'm excited. So, they talk about how, like early in the trailer, it's like, oh, the Fantastic Four, we can never repay their debt, but we can give them appreciation, blah, 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 blah. And it keeps showing, like, Reed. What I love about Reed and how Pedro Pascal is doing this,
Uh-huh.
he's bringing some Joel guilt from The Last of Us, and he's putting it into Reed Richards. Because this whole trailer is like, look at the Fantastic Four, they're such heroes, blah, blah, blah. And then Reed references in the trailer, he's like, I reached for the stars and they heard. And, like, this threat is coming to this planet. And, obviously the Silver Surfer, all that jazz.
I always felt like, he's always been smart, but he was also always been kind of stoic. He's not like a super goofy person, you know? And that's exactly the vibe that I got just from the trailer.
But also what I'm liking about this, and this is me also putting into this trailer, it's only a few shots and whatever, but it's like, even the lines of the whatever that host guy was saying, like, we can never repay their debt, or it's like this thing that they've marked this space race experiment went wrong, massively wrong, and forever changed these four people's lives, and it was technically a massive freak accident mistake. Now everybody is looking to them to solve this world-ending threat, and Reed Richards, the smartest man on the planet, in his face is telling me. There's a point where Johnny is like, "Are we gonna make it, or are we gonna make it?" And Reed's like, "I don't know." And then at the very end, he says, "We will protect you," but I don't believe him when he says that.
You think he's just
I
saying
think
it
he
for the public
know.
eye? So you think that they're kind of just like, because I already know that there's no other superheroes in this world, in this universe.
Exactly, yeah.
They're the only ones. So it's kind of like they've been marketed as more than they think that they are themselves. Like, they're superheroes, but like, but
they're like the Kardashians,
they
more
got
so.
lucky enough to get those powers, and they're still figuring out. But like, obviously everybody's gonna put them on a pedestal and think that they're way more than they are. So now this big, huge threat has happened, and they're probably thinking like, we can't have the people panicking, but like, we don't know what we're doing. We're over our
especially
heads.
because I feel like Reed sees this as direct consequence of what they did when they went the first time.
Yeah.
And so, like, I love the idea of this trailer is a superhero movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The people in that movie think the Fantastic Four are going to save their lives. There's one man in this trailer that knows that this is a disaster movie, and they're all going to die. And it's Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying he brings that Joel. Like, have you watched Last of Us? Or played it?
The second season, yeah.
Have you played it? The game? But you seen the first show?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but like, literally, it brings that Joel, like I say, Joel guilt, which I guess you see more, I guess, in like the game or show, I guess. But like, you know what he did, and he knows what he did, and it's just like a thing he's not saying, but you just know something's there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Reed's having in this, and that's why I'm like, I hope they have a hair. Like, I don't expect them to be able to go in it like full on, but I want a hair of some cosmic horror with Galactus, like some like oh, what we got?
I will say that the one thing I feel weird about is I don't mind that the female Silver Surfer is in it. Like, I think I've seen like a lot of really like sexist comments.
People are mean
people
about
just
it.
don't understand that there's like first of all, it's another universe.
Yeah.
Second of all, it wouldn't matter either way. But like, yeah, that's like the biggest complaint. What my complaint about the Silver Surfer that I saw in the trailer alone, and I know that like, there's always time to make things better later on with CGI and stuff before a movie's released and how it can look different. Sonic, for example. But like, I just think that the chrome just does not look as fresh as it did when Doug Jones played the Silver Surfer.
Truth.
And
I agree.
The eyes look so strange. Like,
I also
why do they have? Did in the comics did they have like irises and pupils and stuff?
no, I don't think so. Or maybe they probably did like strategically or whatever for like
I don't know if
rare
they did
moments.
the old one either. I can't remember if in the old movie with Doug Jones if he had the just a flat surface from eye. But anyway, I like that. I don't, the idea of that is better than me.
Yeah, but what I also like about the trailer is it's short. Like people complain if it's about being a lady surfer. I think they're kind of shorthanding this trailer, being like, we know you kind of remember the last Fantastic Four movie with the Silver Surfer, especially like the sort of how she comes in. It's like your planet is doomed. It's very similar to how the other Silver Surfer comes in. It's like everything you know is at an end, and like all this jazz. And like as soon as she flies off, Johnny goes after her and then falls through space, just like the other movie. So we're still doing kind of like these multiversal parallels in essence. I think they're going to do a lot of that.
I think it's weird when they do parallel trailers. I think it's strange.
I think it's strange, but I think for this, it's so and I think necessary because Marvel has a lot to do right now to get people back on their side.
How much time we got?
2 minutes.
All right.
So yeah. Yeah. What else? Anything else? That's it.
Yeah, we can cut it off here and then
Yeah, we'll cut it off
continue later. But
we could probably continue later. But well, this is too. We could probably do another episode. Well, maybe if we do it before the 4th and whatnot.
I know you and me can just go on and on about their stuff.
Yeah, literally. All right, you don't plug anything, do you? You got anything to plug?
So what?
The plug? Oh my, social media.
No.
Okay. Oh, then say goodbye. I'll just wave.
Goodbye.
That's it. Or like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.